So, picture this. You're 19, completely broke, and your parents are in jail for treason. Yeah, treason. Like the kind of word that gets whispered in pubs and scribbled in history books next to oops. Your sister? Gone. Just poof, disappeared. And you? You sweet little academic gremlin? Your big dream in life is, wait for it, an internship. A linguistics internship. Sitting in dusty rooms with tea that tastes like old socks, arguing with yourself about verb conjugations, and probably annoying everyone at family dinners because you won't shut up about syntax. That's your dream. No adventure, no rebellion, no riches. Just books and quiet. Safe. Normal. Harmless. Except, no, life does not play nice with harmless people. Because the universe looks at Vivian, our girl in question, and goes, "Oh, you wanted peace? Cute. Here's a dragon. Good luck." And Vivian, God bless her clumsy little soul, manages to free the dragon. Accidentally. I don't even know how it happens. Did she sneeze on a lock? Pull the wrong lever? Mistake a do not open sign for free snacks inside? Doesn't matter, she does it. Boom, dragon loose. And not a baby dragon, not a pet-sized puff of scales, no. A treaty-breaking, world-shaking, "Hi, I can burn your capital city in 3 seconds," dragon. Cue screaming. Dragons panic, humans panic, probably pigeons panic too. Everyone's yelling, "Thanks, Vivian, we really needed civil war this week." At this point, the logical move? Prison. Toss her in with her parents. Done. Except, nope. The government stares at the girl who just released Death with Wings and says, let's hire her. I can't make this up. So instead of getting executed, the bar is low, Vivian lands herself in the magical equivalent of Bletchley Park. But instead of cracking Nazi code, she's cracking dragon grammar. Which, side note, dragons have actual language. Syntax, dialects, grammar rules so complicated they make Latin look like kindergarten alphabet soup. And somehow the government decides a 19-year-old with 0 experience and a missing sister is the perfect candidate to handle this. Her new job description basically reads, "Translate dragon before humanity collapses. You have no training. Good luck." It's like Duolingo, but the owl shows up at your house with a flamethrower. And poor Vivian, she's scribbling notes, muttering to herself, staring at claw marks like they're sacred texts, while her bosses hover behind her like, "Think she'll crack it today? Because if not, we're all toast." Great work environment. 10 out of 10. Now let's talk about this office, because it's a nightmare. Departments named after birds. Meetings to schedule future meetings. Reports stamped top secret when they're literally just lunch orders. Imagine your worst office job and now replace the broken printer with a potential dragon apocalypse. And Vivian? She's drowning. Endless paperwork, cryptic orders, and the ever-present dangling carrot. Keep working and maybe we'll let your family go. Classic emotional blackmail, but with extra government letterhead. If you've ever had a boss who threatened your job security over a missed deadline, multiply that by entire human race might die. That's Vivian's internship. Of course, this hell office comes with that guy. You know the one, the coworker who radiates broody, mysterious energy. Probably hasn't slept since 1914. Looks like he reads sad poetry to rain clouds. Naturally, Vivian finds him unbearable. Naturally, she also can't stop thinking about him. Their conversations are pure gold. Him, "You're just guessing." Her, "I'm hypothesizing." Him, "So guessing," but with Latin. It's enemies to lovers, but nerd edition. No sword fights, no rain-drenched kisses, just 2 people arguing over verb charts until suddenly, accidentally, feelings happen. The slow burn is painful. You'll want to shake the book and scream, "Just hold hands already!" Spoiler, they don't. Not for a while. We suffer. Now, here's the part where Vivian could, theoretically, just do her job. Quietly translate, cry into her pillow, survive. But no, her brain only runs on two modes: reckless disaster and reckless genius. So she decides to write a letter to a dragon, like a pen pal, scribbles down her half-baked dragon grammar and basically goes, "Hey, wanna chat?" And the dragon replies, not with roses or chocolates, with 3 words scratched into a rooftop: heard, come, alone. Normal human reaction: run away. Vivian's reaction: grab her notebook and head out like she's got a coffee date. Let's talk about Vivian's idea of romance. Not flowers, not candlelit dinners, no, she decides to meet a dragon on a foggy bridge at midnight. You know, as one does. Picture it. She's standing there clutching a notebook like it's pepper spray. The fog's rolling in, ground's vibrating, and then, boom, dragon lands. Wings so wide they blot out the moon, claws gouging trenches in stone like it's Play-Doh. The air smells like someone left the oven on, but the oven is the size of a cathedral. And instead of, screaming and running for dear life, Vivian bows. Like she's meeting royalty. Then she speaks, in dragon grammar. It's broken, clunky, the kind of attempt that would get you roasted in a freshman linguistics seminar. But it works. The dragon listens, doesn't torture, talks back. Full-on sentences, grammar so complex it probably has footnotes. And Vivian realizes, oh, dragons aren't just angry lizards with wings. They've been duped, shackled by treaties, basically colonized through bureaucracy. And she just stands there like, wow, my government sucks even more than I thought. After that, Vivian basically signs herself up for the Double Life Olympics. By day, loyal government intern, furiously scribbling translations, pretending to be incompetent. By night, sneaking out, writing pen pal letters to apex predators. It's espionage fueled entirely by coffee, sarcasm, and zero survival instincts. She even starts leaving little messages in the margins of documents. Like one report calls dragons enemies. Vivian circles it in red and writes, "Language does not equal allegiance." Which is not a translation note. That's graffiti. Here's the genius or madness of it. She turns paperwork into warfare. She mistranslates things on purpose. Subtle tweaks. Change must comply to may cooperate. Shift the tone from command to suggestion. Suddenly, the whole meaning changes. It's like watching someone rig a Jenga tower by nudging a single block. Everyone else is still arguing about strategy, while Vivian's over here casually destabilizing the entire thing with a comma. Her bosses think she's sloppy. Oh, rookie mistakes. Meanwhile, she's grinning to herself like, oops, did I just protect dragon serenity with a pronoun swap? My bad. And of course, we can't forget about him, Mr. Broody. Mr. I read poetry in the dark. He keeps hovering around like he knows Vivian's hiding something. Their chemistry? Unhinged. He'll say things like, "You're reckless," and she'll go, "Thank you, I try." He'll say, "You could get killed," and she's like, "So can you. Isn't this flirting fun?" It's not supposed to be flirting, but yeah, it kinda is. It's the kind of bickering that makes everyone else in the room want to leave because you're clearly intruding on foreplay. Except instead of, "Who ate the last cookie?" it's, "Did you just commit treason through verb conjugation?" Slow burn doesn't even cover it. It's molasses. It's continental drift. Remember her sister, the one who vanished? Turns out she's not dead. She's in a rehabilitation program, which is government code for brainwashing camp with extra paperwork. Vivian figures it out piece by piece. An out-of-place file, a whisper in a hallway, a childhood lullaby hummed by someone who shouldn't know it. She puts the puzzle together, and when it clicks, she doesn't wait. She stages a break-in. No plan, no weapons, just reckless determination and probably some very unconvincing disguises. She hides in laundry carts, sneaks through vents, narrowly avoids being murdered about 6 times. But she finds her sister, alive, changed, scarred in ways that hugs can't fix. Vivian holds her anyway and mutters something like, "You're breathing. That's enough for now." It's raw. It's ugly. It hurts. By now, Vivian's got a thesis. Language isn't just communication, it's power. The whole world runs on who gets to define words and who controls the narrative. So she starts wielding it like a scalpel. Or maybe a knife. Both, really. She hides codes in official documents, deliberately mistranslates treaties, plants errors so subtle no one but the dragons notice. To her bosses, she's just an exhausted intern who can't handle stress. To the dragons, she's a lifeline. To us, she's 19 and rewriting geopolitics with a notebook in spite. But double lives, they never last. Someone's always watching. Reports don't match reality. Files vanish. And one night she finds a note under her door. Big block letters. Stop or else. Now, most people would panic. Vivian? She circles the word stop and probably mutters, vague, needs revision. And broody McCoworker, oh, he's on to her. He asks straight up, "Who are you working for?" And Vivian, queen of sarcasm, dodges with a joke instead of a real answer. Classic. She's boxed in on all sides. Dragons who don't fully trust her. Government that definitely doesn't. And her own split loyalty pulling her in two directions. And instead of picking, she shrugs and goes, "Fine, I'll play both of you." That's not courage, that's chaos brain. But somehow, chaos brain is working for her. So she sets up another midnight meetup. Same bridge, same fog, same death vibes. The dragon lands. Ground shakes. If this were me, I'd already be 5 miles away calling it a day. Vivian, she's steady. She speaks. Slowly, carefully. Every word feels like balancing on a tightrope over a volcano. And it works. The dragon listens, talks back. No fire, no claws, just communication. And for one electrified, impossible moment, peace doesn't feel like a joke. It feels possible. Of course, you and I know it won't last, but in that second, you can almost believe. Alright, so you know how Vivian's been juggling all these flaming swords? Government spy here, dragon pen pal there, secret sister rescue, general chaos goblin energy everywhere? Yeah, the juggling act does not last. Shock of the century, I know. Her whole carefully balanced tower of lies finally topples. Hard, like the world's messiest game of Jenga. The government at first was happy to dismiss her little errors as rookie intern mistakes. Cute, relatable. But eventually somebody in a very boring suit sits down with her stack of reports and goes, "Funny how every one of these mistakes accidentally helps the dragons. Crazy coincidence, huh? Almost like she's sabotaging us." Meanwhile, the dragons are not exactly lining up to throw Vivian a thank you parade either. They're eyeing her like, "So, are you actually helping us, or are you just another human playing us for fools?" Which, to be fair, is a reasonable question. And then, cherry on top, there's her sister. Rescued? Sure. Safe? Not even close. The poor girl's been wrung out, scarred, and turned into the world's most obvious weak spot. The government could dangle her like a chew toy every time Vivian even thinks about saying no. Oh, and broody McCoworker? He's watching too, with that infuriating mix of suspicion and interest. The kind of look that says, "I know you're lying, but unfortunately I also want to kiss you about it." So yeah, Vivian's life is equal to a spectacular dumpster fire. Now, any reasonable person would do one of three things: quit, run, or fake their own death and open a bakery somewhere quiet. But Vivian? Oh no. She stares at the flaming disaster of her life and says, "You know what? Let's gamble with the fate of civilization." Her brilliant plan? Hijack a radio tower. Get on the airwaves and broadcast in Dragon. Yes, Dragon. Not English, not French, not anything a normal Londoner might actually understand. Nope. She's gonna speak in a language she's half-baked at best, with grammar so unstable it could fall apart mid-sentence. And she's going to do it live, to everyone. Genius or idiocy? Honestly, both. Alright, close your eyes for a second and picture this. Don't actually close your eyes, you're reading, but you get me. It's raining. Not the cinematic Hollywood kind with dramatic lighting, no. British rain. Gray, soaking, relentless, like the sky itself is tired. The radio tower looms, rusted wires humming like they know what's coming. Inside the building, chaos. Papers flying, bureaucrats screaming, guards hammering on doors. It's basically a live-action disaster movie, but with less budget. And then there's Vivian, our 19-year-old disaster protagonist. She looks like she's been dragged through a hedge backwards. Ink stains all over her hands, hair matted with rain, clothes rumpled, pockets probably full of useless scraps of paper. And yet here she is, notebook clutched like a holy relic, about to change the world. She leans into the microphone, and then she does it. She speaks. Not English, not human language at all. Dragon. The sound isn't pretty. It's rough, awkward, and a little clunky. Her accent's terrible. Imagine a tourist in Paris saying, "Je m'appelle Jean, a oui oui baguette," and you'll get the vibe. But it doesn't matter, because it's Dragon, and dragons are listening. Her message is simple, blunt, half threat, half olive branch. We screwed up. You screwed up. War doesn't have to be the only ending here. Try us, and you'll regret it. Work with us, and maybe, just maybe, we won't burn this whole world down together. It's not poetic, it's not Shakespeare, but it's powerful. And then, nothing. The city goes still. Radios buzz with static. People everywhere freeze mid-motion. Kitchens, pubs, bunkers, bedrooms, everybody's listening to this intern who just hijacked the frequency and is now butchering dragon grammar in public. Outside, dragons hang mid-flight. Wings beating, but slowing. Claws outstretched, but frozen. Mouths open, but not breathing fire. It's the kind of silence that stretches so long your stomach drops. You know the one, the kind of pause that makes you think you've just made the biggest mistake of your life. Vivian must have felt it like a weight pressing down on her ribs. And then, impossibly, the dragons turn back. One by one, they peel away from the city. No fire, no apocalypse. London exhales. The world, for the briefest second, doesn't end. So does Vivian get recognition? A parade? Thank you for saving the human race fruit basket? Absolutely not. The government looks at her like she just personally spat in their tea. Which, to be fair, she kinda did, metaphorically. She humiliated them. She broke laws. She made them look incompetent and dependent on a 19-year-old intern with a notebook. Not their best PR moment. The dragons, meanwhile, don't crown her queen either. They're cautious, wary. But they nod, and in dragon terms, that's basically like leaving her a glowing Yelp review. Would negotiate with again, 5 out of 5, didn't get roasted. Vivian herself? She's wrecked. Physically, emotionally, everything. Family's still at risk. Life's still dangling on a fraying thread. But now, she's got leverage. For the first time, she isn't a pawn, she's a player. And that changes everything. And let's not skip over brooding McCoworker because, oh boy, he's still here. Still brooding, still glaring at Vivian like he both hates her guts and wants to dramatically recite Byron under a thunderstorm with her. Their dynamic post-broadcast? Torture! Absolute torture! He knows what she did. She knows he knows. He saves her life anyway. She covers for him anyway. Every argument they have is one heartbeat away from either murder or a kiss. And do they kiss? Of course not. This is slow burn hell. The author's making us suffer. It's like dangling chocolate in front of a starving person and then saying, "Not until book 2, champ." But here's the kicker. Beneath the dragons and the politics and the broody romantic nonsense, this is a story about words, about how language itself is power. Vivian shows that translation isn't neutral, it's political, it's dangerous. It can spark wars or stop them. Grammar mistakes aren't just embarrassing, they can literally change history. She doesn't fight with swords or magic, she fights with notes in the margins, with mistranslations slipped into documents, with sarcasm, wit, and sheer audacity. And it works! So here's where we land. Vivian starts out just wanting an internship, just wanting to sip tea, read books, complain about syntax. And she ends up hijacking a radio tower, speaking dragon to the entire world, and basically dragging humanity back from the edge of extinction with nothing but spite and linguistics. It's messy, it's stressful, it's brilliant. Should this book be banned? Absolutely! Not for corruption or violence or anything like that, no. It should be banned because it will ruin your sleep schedule, wreck your emotions, and make you think way too hard about grammar at 3 a.m. 10 out of 10 would free a dragon again.